Welcome to the Read Along,
a mini book club for your ears.
I'm your host, Scott.
I'm your other host, Anita.
And join us on a journey through a good book,
One chapter at a time.
Do you like talking about movies? Do you like talking about mediocre movies? Do you like talking about how you could have fixed mediocre movies? Well, I certainly do, and you can listen to me, Scott C. Bourgeois, along with my co-hosts Greg Beaver and Liam Creswick, as we give our notes in I Have Some Notes. You can follow it now on your podcatcher of choice or support it by visiting patreon.com/I Have Some Notes. February was super busy.
It really was.
Yeah.
For a short month, it was packed.
Yeah, it's nice to finally be in March. Because, well, March is a little stacked to start. I've got myself a particularly busy first week. The rest of March is kind of a little more laid back.
Mm-hmm. We only have, 2 birthday parties to worry about.
Yeah, and not really much toward the end of the month currently planned, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. We'll see if it stays that way, but...
I mean, it probably won't. We've got 2 kids and lead busy lives of our own.
We can try.
We can certainly try.
We can try.
But at any rate, we did manage to read a book once again.
Yeah.
As we always manage to find the time to do.
Our low-commitment book club only demands that we, not even you, dear listeners, that we read a chapter in a week.
Yeah.
And that is something I can handle.
Indeed. And so we have. But before we get into that, let's begin with a brief recap of our previous chapter, Chapter 5, in which Adam and Ben arrive at Ben's apartment and are immediately attacked by a wyvern in the car park.
And then proceed to have the talk.
Well, before that, the wyvern is defeated partly due to Adam using fearsome powers that he is revealed to have that allow him to briefly disappear into another dimension or another fold in our own dimension.
Right.
He and Ben do have a talk, as you say, back in the apartment. Things kind of get cleared up between them, and Adam reveals that he can dive into the space beyond. And that is where we lead into Chapter 6 of City of Others by Jared Poon. So it's the next day, and we're at a board meeting.
What? I wouldn't call it a board meeting.
A team meeting.
I would call it a team meeting.
Yeah.
And apparently now Adam is on the team.
Well, temporarily at least.
He is at least in the team meeting.
He does get deputized as a knight errant of DEUS.
I love it so much.
A title that means nothing, was made up on the spot, and Adam is super jazzed to have.
Absolutely. The sweet, nerdy dynamic between those two delights me.
Yeah, they're meeting in a Fishbowl conference room.
Having worked in an office that had a Fishbowl style meeting room, I get it.
Yeah.
I absolutely get it.
It's a double problem here, not just because it's awkward to have people going by and glancing at your meeting, but they're also talking about stuff man was not meant to know.
Yeah, so you kind of have to be careful about what kind of things you can show that other people are going to see.
Yeah, because half of the middle management can't process what you're talking about, and it's just going to lead to awkward questions.
Right?
Yeah.
And horror and terrible, and then horrible bureaucratic decisions coming down the line.
Yep.
So discretion is advised.
They have a little video playing because Ben, to his credit, had the foresight not just to pull up his camera, but to hit record on the video. So that he had video evidence of this monster that was stalking them.
Mm-hmm. And because they needed to use their phones to see it anyway.
Exactly.
Right?
So just...
Good thinking.
Good thinking. May, in particular, is a good resource here, seeing as she is very old. Something that we do not discuss.
Ask. We do not talk about it.
Yeah. She actually has experience with wyverns from days past and is like, oh, these are wyverns just like I remember them being. That is to say, healthy and focused.
Yeah, this one's like well-fed and trained.
Not the kind of like runty ones that are being driven out of the local population nowadays, because they're basically being outperformed by the local predators.
Oh, yeah.
While they are an invasive species, they haven't overtaken an ecological niche, so they're actually dying out locally.
Yeah.
But this one could be someone's pet.
Well, and we find out it probably is.
Yeah, because as actually Fiza points out, because she's paying attention to its shadow. She's an art student, so she pays attention to shadows.
As you do.
It's got little tendrils leading out of it. And this basically confirms something we supposed last chapter. So our irresponsible speculation turning out to be kind of correct here. Someone was controlling that wyvern. It was not there by accident.
Yeah, it's not hunting on its own.
No. So Ben immediately reads into this and is like, oh, I'm being targeted by someone who doesn't want us investigating this Ripple event that's going on. And immediately is like, you're all off the case. And everybody immediately is like, heck no.
He's like, nope. Bunch of nope.
Yeah. Fiza, May, and Jimmy are all like, no.
Yeah, no, that's not how this is going to work.
And if you order us off the case, we'll just continue working it anyway. So he agrees to a compromise wherein he'll take point, do the legwork while they're basically guys in the chair. They're all doing the research, being back at the office, supporting him, but not necessarily putting themselves in the line of danger.
Yeah. Ben has this weird, I don't want to call it a martyr complex, because that's not entirely what it is. But
No.
he is never willing to put anyone else in danger.
It's actually very much I would say, not at all a martyr complex, because it's not that he certainly does not want to die.
No, exactly.
He wants to get the job done and do it well. He is very overprotective of his team because he recognizes he's the boss. They are his responsibility, and he doesn't want to be responsible for one of them being injured or killed.
Well, yeah, and fair enough.
And he's a little overbearing in that. He's the mother hen of their group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it. No one wants anyone on their team to hurt or be killed. That makes sense. But, like, to a certain degree, you have to let them still do their jobs, man.
Yeah. Adam also interjects and is like, hey, I'm helping out too. And at
Ben's
first,
like, absolutely not. You're a civilian.
but Jimmy and May are both like, but honestly, like, he has more knowledge about this other dimension than any of us.
Yeah, we need his superpowers, dude.
Yeah. And Ben reluctantly agrees. Yeah, okay. I think he's also on one level like, means I get to spend more time with this cute guy.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of that in there.
It's delightful.
And we kind of glazed past a little bit of the conversation here.
Oh, yeah,
we were
sorry.
kind of focused on the wyvern. And I'm going to put a pin in something as I want to come back to it.
Okay.
But one of the things they do discuss is also what exactly is going on with this apartment block.
Yes.
And what Adam kind of explains, and what apparently he and Ben had kind of worked out a little bit beforehand. They'd had a little talk before this meeting so they could not necessarily get their story straight, but figure out a way to word it in a way that would be very approachable and understandable by everyone else on the team.
Yeah.
The way he describes it is something in that apartment complex has a lot of sentimental or ontological weight.
Yeah. It is spiritually heavy.
Yeah, and it's pulling it down into this netherworld. And it's sunk low enough now that, as Adam puts it, waves from the nether abyss can wash over it and make it kind of disappear briefly.
Yeah, to give it a metaphor, think of this place as like an island, but like a free-floating island.
That is sinking beneath the
That is
waves.
sinking, right? And the waves crash over it, and eventually it'll just go down.
Yeah. And so the goal of the team, therefore, is now to identify what is causing this weight on this apartment complex. This is obviously, you don't want it and all of its inhabitants to disappear into the ether forever.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be bad.
The problem is DEUS, as a government branch,
Doesn't have the support.
doesn't have the support, the resources, any of that to quote-unquote do it properly.
Yeah, to either like evacuate all the residents or do like a lengthy and in-depth search immediately.
Oh, especially because it could be something really small and innocuous
Yeah,
that carries a lot of spiritual weight.
As he puts it could be a coin in a coin collection that has the weight of a genocide. I think that's an exact quote from the book.
Exactly. So finding it the long, safe way is not really an option.
No, they're going to kind of have to wing it.
Yeah. First of all, they're not going to get into all of these apartments and check everything.
No, I mean,
that's not going to work.
They have previously managed to get into several of them. They can do so again, but it's one thing, can I come in and ask you some questions? It's another thing, can I come in and inventory everything in your house?
Can I rifle through your stuff?
Yeah.
That's not going to be a thing. Also, time is a factor.
Yeah.
We don't know how much time, but we know it's not a lot.
I want to circle back to a previous chapter. Something we hadn't mentioned, I don't believe, was that when Fiza and Ben were doing their initial survey and door knocking, one of the residents had mentioned someone else had already been there asking questions.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think we mentioned that, but
It wasn't a big deal at the time.
It wasn't a big deal at the time. Turns out that was Adam.
Yeah.
Because he had noticed this ripple, as he put it, the wave crashing over this complex in one of his dives previously, and curious, he had gone to inquire about it.
Yeah.
And now we know who that was. It was him.
Phew.
Yeah. So potentially one less sinister person involved in this. Although there's definitely still a sinister person involved in this because someone sent the wyvern.
Right? Okay.
Could be a tracksuit person, I'm just saying. A lot of mysterious tracksuits.
It's bad that someone is trying to attack our protagonists here. On the other hand, it's nice to be validated because, as we pointed out previously, like, the fact that a wyvern showed up is bad news, right? Like, that is an event in and of itself.
And it definitely wasn't random.
No.
One of the
You're
things,
learning that.
I don't think it was mentioned last chapter when Ben was going over his wyvern stuff, or certainly I don't recall, but it is mentioned in this chapter, wyverns have a paralytic sting.
Yeah.
So whoever sent the wyvern was probably trying to take someone alive.
As opposed to kill them and get them out of the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going to pull out that pin.
Okay.
Because we're talking about the wyvern again. Ben immediately jumps to the conclusion that he and the team are in danger. That someone's trying to stop him from investigating and was looking to capture him to find out what he knows. And I think Ben is entirely wrong.
You think they're going after Adam.
I think that wyvern was sent to go and get Adam.
Maybe.
He was the first one on the scene, so he would have been the first one to attract attention. And he has powers linked to what's going on.
Yep, that makes sense.
I think Adam is actually the target, and Ben just assumed it was him.
Because he's normally the one dealing with stuff like this.
Because he's normally the one dealing with that stuff, yeah.
Makes sense.
I think Ben has made a very key mistake in this moment.
Possibly?
Yeah.
Or, if I may counter a little bit, because what I wrote down in my notes, Clementi is sinking.
Yeah.
Basically. DEUS, as a team, is trying to stop it. Someone is potentially trying to stop them. Why? We don't know why.
We don't know why.
That is my question. Why is it important that this apartment block sinks?
Well, and it's possible that someone deliberately has put something of ontological weight onto the apartment block with the intention of sinking.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my follow-ups. Like someone, whether or not it's happening naturally or not, someone wants this to happen. Why?
The team does come up with a rough list of priorities here. Things that need to be answered. And one of them is to stop the apartment complex from sinking into the abyss, into the damp.
Yes.
One of them is that they need to gather more information about who sent that wyvern. And one of them is they still need to find the cat with the scarf.
Yes.
That is the third priority. So
I feel like the cat is the key to all of this.
Who knows? It might be.
It might be.
But in order to get some answers, they are going to need to enlist some outside help.
Sad, but terrifyingly true. Actually, I think Adam's the one who first broaches the topic. Like, can't you guys just magic this information to us?
Yeah.
And they all go, that would involve a diviner. And that's a whole thing.
Yeah. So we learn a little bit about people who can see the future. Because as Ben kind of explains to us and to Adam, diviners come in sort of three categories.
Yeah.
The first are charlatans.
Yes.
People who are seers, quote unquote, but are just like making it up for a quick buck.
Yeah.
The second are people who are insane because they did have the gift and eventually it drives you mad. Like it takes an incredibly sharp, focused mind and strong willpower not to be lost in the probabilities of what might come.
Yes.
To lose yourself in the what if.
Yes.
And then the third category are actual sane diviners, which are few and far between because, again, many of them go mad.
Yep.
And tend to stay hidden because there are lots of forces and factions that would love to have someone who can see the future or would love to make sure that no one can see their future.
Yeah, they're either hunted for possession or hunted for, I don't want to call it sport because that's not right.
No, possession or for protection.
Yeah.
But the problem is that because they're actual diviners, it's hard to find them.
Yes.
Because they tend to only be found when they want to be, because if you're hunting a diviner to kill them or capture them, they know that. And they know how to avoid you.
Right?
So they tend to be hidden. Ben, however, reluctantly agrees, it probably is a good idea. We could try to seek someone out. And he pitches out a few ideas of diviners they've worked with in the past. And May's like, nope, that guy's in a 100-year torpor. Nope, that guy's lingering in another dimension right now.
Yeah, wrong year. That one's asleep. They do broach the topic of going to the Jinn.
Yeah.
And Faiza's like, that should not be our first resort. It's all about like bargains and deals and agreements.
Yeah, apparently her culture is one of nothing but deal making, to the point where a deal was struck for her to be born and a deal was struck for her mother to care about her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Faiza owes her mother for her mother's love.
Because that entire culture is based on give and take, on bargains and deals.
Yep.
And she's like, you, number one, with all due respect, none of you have anything that my people would want. Number two, they drive a hard bargain, and you have to really seriously consider what you might be willing to give up for that information. And they're all like, okay, in the event we have to deal with the Jinn, let's have a contingency plan in place, but let's maybe try to find someone a little easier to deal with first.
Yeah, it gets moved from first resort to last resort.
Yeah.
Which is probably for the best.
And this ultimately leads Ben to going, we're going to have to go and find someone called the Negamuthu's daughter.
Yeah. I don't know who or what a Negamuthu is.
Well, whatever it is, it's an option that Jimmy and May are both like, no deal. I'd rather go deal with the Jinn. But Ben is like, this is what we're doing. And that's kind of the cliffhanger.
Yeah. And he's like, we have to go to the, I believe it's pronounced Pasar Bayang, which is basically a giant market. I assume similar to like the Grand Bazaar kind of situation, right?
Yeah. And that's where they're going to find this Negamuthu's daughter.
Yes.
Who apparently is a diviner who might be able to help them, though not one that they particularly want to deal with.
I'm under the impression that no matter what the option was, nobody really wants to deal with it.
Yeah. But they might find some answers. That's the important thing.
I hope so.
Yeah. And thus we will get some answers.
Yeah, that'd be good too. And that's it. That's the end of our chapter.
Yeah, so let's see if they find some answers as we go into Chapter 7 of our novel. You'll want to read up on that in time for next week. In the meantime, of course, as always, you can give us a little rating and a review on your podcatcher of choice.
We always appreciate those. Thank you.
We very much do. You can also reach out to us via social media.
Oh, absolutely. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Goodreads, and Blue Sky. We are at The Read Along on most of those.
Yeah, you can also reach out to us on our new Discord server.
Yes, please, come chat.
Yeah, you can find a link to, an invite link to that on all of our social medias and also in the show notes.
Yes.
You can also send us an email.
Sure, why not? You can find us at thereadalong@gmail.com.
And with that said, as always, we love you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Maybe we're going shopping.
Thank you for joining us on The Read Along with your hosts Anita and Scott C. Bourgeois. All Read Along music is by Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com. Cover art is by Aaron Beaver. You can reach out to us via Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook at The Read Along, join our Discord, or check out our group on Goodreads.com.